So how did you hear about the role? How did you hear about the opportunity?
Thanks to PIMBA, I came back, started doing quality projects. As I say, once you go through PIMBA, you can't unsee it, right? Things are there, they jump out at you. And so I started doing some quality projects in my service line. And one day I called the president of the Children's Hospital and said, "Hey, I think I've done everything I can in the ENT realm. Do you have anything else? Maybe next step or sit on a little higher quality board or something." And I had no idea they were looking for a CMO. I just thought maybe I'd get on a quality board or something. And so she called back and said, "Well, hey, I got this idea. Can I meet with you?" And I said, "Okay, great." And next thing I know, there was just we were at an event, actually a fundraising event for the Children's Hospital. And there's just this crazy chatter going on and I couldn't figure out why. And so the lady who's the physician who is actually in this role was OBGYN by training. And she said, "Well, hey, I'm going to move over and take full-time for women's. We need a children's person. Are you interested? You should throw your name in the hat." And so that's kind of the chatter, and that's how that unrolled. So, yeah.
And did you have to go through a formal selection process?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like if you were being hired outside of your organization?
Yeah, they did a nationwide search. It was about a 6-month process, actually. So, yeah, it felt like it was taking forever, actually. So, but I mean, I'm glad they did a nationwide search. They did it right. And so I wouldn't want to just be thrown into the role without having been vetted through the process.
And how many key decision makers were there in the selection process?
That's a great question. I don't know that I actually know, but obviously it was leadership. They did bring in physician collaboration, some of the head physicians. So there's probably a panel of 10 physicians, I think, that I quote interviewed, which is kind of funny because a lot of them were really good friends and my peers that I've been working with for 20 years. But then, of course, we did go up through leadership administration, through the hospital, and then senior cabinet as well to interview.
And it sounds like it was a fairly lengthy process.
Yes, to say the least. So that's okay. I'm glad they did it right. And it actually gave me some great time to prepare if this was to come. So, and it really helped solidify my decision that while I really wanted to be in my home community, if this wasn't something that came to pass, I was really at peace with that, but thought I would probably, life-wise, we were getting close to having kids out of the house and just looking at the ability to maybe do a nationwide move if we needed to. So it really solidified my desire to want to move into this role.
That's interesting because it sounds like when you went to PEMBA, you had a very different set of goals and things that you wanted to get out of PEMBA.
100%. At the time, I was running a business, private practice, and we had gone through some rapid growth. And so, as I keep saying, there were more zeros on the balance sheet. I don't think I even knew what a balance sheet was at that time, but I just knew there were more zeros and more staff that I wanted to make sure that we covered and making decisions. And I was starting to make decisions, but not always knowing why I was making the decisions, hoping I was making the right choice. And so felt like PIMBA was a great opportunity. It was during COVID, actually. And so since things were slow, I jumped in the opportunity to use the time to go to PIMBA. And it was great. And I kind of came out of PIMBA and said, I actually don't ever want to be in administration because I don't really like meetings. I don't really like sort of behind the scenes. I like having my hands in the action. And so I came back to the office, tuned things up. And within about 18 months, we were humming, which was great coming out of COVID. But felt like I really was empowered to make strategic decisions. I love the idea that you just let the Excel spreadsheet tell the story and it takes the emotion out of it. And that was just really enlightening and really helpful. But then I started to get into quality and I really didn't expect to like the quality work as much. But again, as I say, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it becomes much easier to fix those problems because it's like, the language, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, you can find the problems and fix them very quickly. And that became really satisfying to see process improvement, quality improvement. And so that's how the CMO role came into play.